Hi, in this video I'll be showing you how to set up the Generation 3 Flite tree tent, 2-person, lightweight. Let's see what's in the bag. You got your tree wraps. You got your straps, 3 straps, a web lock, the rain fly, the poles, bungees and pegs, and the tent. First thing we're going to do is going to put the tree wraps around the trees that we're going to use, and then we're going to set the tent out on the floor with its corners pointing towards the trees that we've allocated for our anchoring points. So we get our felt tree wrap. This isn't necessary on every single tree, but when you've got some trees with softer bark, you might want to put this around them to save that bark from any compression damage. You simply wrap it around the tree and then use the massive Velcro pad to fix it in place. Now we're going to put the straps around the trees. Each strap is 6 meters long, that's 19 feet or thereabouts. Got a loop in the end. Going to let go, pass that loop around the tree, and then pass the tail of the strap around the loop and cinch tight. We're going to do that to all 3 trees. Next thing we want to do is lay the tent out flat with all the corners facing the trees that we've appointed as anchor points. So unclip the bracelet and unroll the tent. I'm going to put the tail in this direction. So the best thing to do is run your hand from the tree out, making sure that you get out any twists. I'm going to use a fixed knot on the tail end, and I'm going to run that out, and then I'm going to use a half Windsor knot through the small square D-ring, underneath, over, through the D-ring again, with a loop this time, under that bridge, and cinch it tight. That way it won't give, but you've also got a quick release system built in. So again, over, through, under that bridge, and cinch it tight. Now we'll take the ratchet and we'll pass the loop end through the D-ring, and then the ratchet through the loop, cinch it tight, and we're going to take the web lock to the other side, again put the loop through the D-ring, the web lock through the loop, and cinch it tight. You want to place it up and out, come in through the back, over the top of the first bar, and then behind the back of the second bar, and then pull that tight against the half Windsor knot that you've done in the tail. The static knot at the tail, I've done the web lock on one of the front ends. The web lock can be on the tail, there's no reason for that not to be the case, but on this side the ratchet has to be on one of the front corners, because it's the ratcheting tight sideways that will stop people rolling together in the middle of the tent. So I've done the ratchet here. Again, I run my hand along the whole strap to take out any twists. Thread the strap through the spindle of the ratchet. Let go of the ratchet and pull through all the excess strap, pulling as tight as I can before starting to ratchet and tightening the floor of the tent until I can't get any more out of it. Then this is the locking plate, so I'm squeezing the locking plate and the handle together, releasing the locking plate, setting it down so that this click plate goes into the housing and cannot jump out of space. So getting the right alignment is pretty important if you want a good night's sleep. On the far end I've got a sightline tag, and what we're doing is we're going to try to get this strap to point directly at that sight alignment tab. So I'm going to just lock it off there, come round and see if I can, by eye, line up this with the strap with the ratchet, which is pretty good. I'm going to get the strap and the alignment tag and the ratchet, or the web lock in that case, all in one line. For the tail, you just want this strap to be bang in line with the center of the tent, which it pretty much is. That's pretty good. You're going to have a good night's sleep. I'm going to finish ratcheting now that we've got that alignment sorted out. Now we've got the tent up and tight. We're going to take our poles. There are 2 poles, a short one, which is the crossbar, which can be threaded through this pole sleeve here that comes in 2 sections. And then you've got a pole pocket at the far end. You want to feed it into that, push it through, and put the closer end also into the pole socket. And start to feed your other pole through the long lengthways pole sleeve all the way to the tail. Pop the top up and fit the front of the pole into the pole socket right at the front of your Flite. Now we've got the tent up, it's time to put on the rainfly. So again, unclip the bracelet and keep that somewhere safe. Shake the rainfly open and try to locate the tail, which is the skinny end. Tail has 2 bungee lengths with 2 hooks. Secure tail and lace the bungees up the strap and hook them to each other. And then while they're in tension, while keeping them in tension I should say, run your hand down the seam that's on this side of the fly sheet till you get to the corner. Pass the tent rainfly over the tent, pulling it over. Find another 2 bungees with hooks on, and then you can either wrap it around and behind the web lock or lace it up the strap like you did before. On the last corner you may prefer to go and use the ratchet handle to hook your rainfly to. In that case you can come back and just simply go through the grey webbing loops, 1 and 2. Then we've got to peg out the wings. An extra trick to make your rainfly even more secure in high wind or really inclement weather would be, instead of lacing your fly sheet bungees up the strap, you just detach one of the bungee loops with a hook from your webbing loops and your peg out points, and you take that loop and you take it up the strap and you pass the hook through the loop once and then twice, pulling it really tight so it cinches really tight on that strap, and then taking your rain fly hooks and attaching directly to that. So it's your personal preference when you're pegging out your rain fly. You can take your pegs in opposite directions. Of course you can attach to nearby trees or bushes, or you can bring the 2 bungee peg out lines to 1 peg and take those straight to the ground together, saving on ground contact points and trip hazards. Just make sure you screw that peg nice and securely all the way in so you can't trip over it or snap it in the night.